Hey everybody, Rich Stitzel here. I want to show you a fun little exercise that's kind of been tripping some drummers up. In fact, about 90% of the people I show this to have a couple challenges with it right off the bat. Now there are two aspects to the challenge. One is coordination, but it's not that difficult of a coordination challenge, and most people can start to understand the coordination pretty quickly. The thing that's a little deeper with the challenge is what I call rhythmic perception. And what's happening is we're playing an exercise, and then we're going to do one little tweak to the exercise, and all of a sudden the mind is going to think that we're in a new time signature. It could be true. It could not be true. It's the perception that we're dealing with. And sometimes when our mind shifts us into another understanding, it throws us off. It makes us not know where we are. So this is a great exercise to start to work and develop a stronger rhythmic perception and also some coordination. So here's how the exercise works. It's in 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're dealing with a 3 to 4 polymetric relationship. Now what that means is we're going to be playing groupings of 4/16 notes along with groupings of 3/16 notes. So these things are going to cycle around and meet each other every 3 beats. The foot is going to be playing the groupings of 4/16 notes just as a quarter note pulse. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a. And the hands are going to be playing groupings of threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to count like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1. Just so we're staying in 3/4 time. So together, those both sound like this. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a. This is a very basic coordination pattern that we learn early on. It's the 3 to 4 polymetric relationship. 2, 3, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1. Okay, that's a pretty doable exercise in itself, and I think that with a little bit of work, your coordination will be able to handle that. Okay, now's when it gets tricky. So I'm going to take you through the process of the exercise because there's 12 more measures in the exercise. And then we're going to talk about what happens with your perception when we move things around a little bit. Okay, here's the structure of the exercise. The hands never change. Duck-it-da, 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 duck-it-da. Always playing accents every 3 beats. Always in 3/4 time. The foot is going to play 4 measures of quarter notes on the downbeat. 4 measures of, we're going to shift to the E's, and now the bass drum is going to be playing on the E's. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a. And then it goes to the ands, and then it goes to the us. So let's just hear what it sounds like to do the bass drum by itself with a click. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1. That's hard. So now I'm going to do it without counting. So we're just going to hear the bass drum pulse. Join me on this. Make sure you're doing this with me. Here we go. 4 measures of each. Downbeats, E's, ands, and us. 1, 2, 3. Ready, and go. Okay, that's an important part to get happening. So make sure that you understand what the downbeat is. Make sure you understand what the E is, the and the and be able to count 4 measures of each one. Super important. That's important no matter what. Okay? Now we're going to put it together. So we're going to keep the 3s up here and move through the 16 measures of permutations with the bass drum. We'll do it with the click. One time through. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. Okay, so that's what that sounds like. The click may have kept you in place. The click may have started to sound pretty abstract depending on where your attention was. And it's not your conscious attention even, it's your subconscious attention. It's the subliminal stuff that your brain is doing to try to make sense of what's happening. So who knows what was happening in your own mind, but your rhythmic perception was definitely doing something where you were tracking the foot and the click started sounding unrelated, or maybe you stayed with the click and the foot started to sound unrelated, and then you have this swirling thing of 3s over here. So who knows where your mind is at. And as a listener, it's even different than as a practitioner. So when you're actually doing the exercise, it's even different than just listening to it. I'm going to play it now with no clicks so you don't have any downbeat information, okay? So we're just going to travel through 4 measures of each of these permutations and just kind of listen and see how this goes for you as a listener. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. Okay, so that's the exercise, and I don't know how you responded to it orally, but what's going on rhythmic perception-wise is the mind is pretty comfortable being in 3/4 on the first one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, because the downbeat is happening with that first accent. We're establishing that we're in 3/4. We know we're in 3/4 going into it, so we're good. When the bass drum moves to the E, our mind wants to hear the big pulse. We like downbeats. Our culture likes downbeats. Humanity likes downbeats. Unless you've done a lot of study with big accents on E's and U's, your mind is going to go, I need that to be a downbeat. So when we move the bass drum to an E, it's going to start searching, the mind is going to start searching for something to line that up with that falls together. And you're going to go, okay, I understand now. Here's the pulse. Now, if we look at this 3-note grouping, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. The 4th accent of that little pattern that I just played is the E. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the bass drum hits with that note, our mind is going to say, I'm in 12/8 time, and we're accenting beat 4. Check it out. Ready? Go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But all we did was move the bass drum over 1/8 note, 1/16th note. Now we're going to move it over another 16th note, and here we are on the ands. Your mind may hear that in 3/4 if you're used to hearing ands. It may hear it in 3/4 but moved over an 8th note. You'll have to figure that out for yourself on however it is that you perceive it. And then the final one, the sounds like this. Sorry, ready, go. Back to this 12/8 concept with an accent happening on beat 2. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's the exercise. Let's do it 2 times through this time, and I want you to join me. We're going to play, it's a 16 measure long phrase. We're going to play it twice with the click. So get your sticks and pad, or sit down at the drum set, make sure you can hear what's going on. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. All right, so that's the exercise. I don't know how you did with it, but you know how you did with it. Hopefully it's intriguing, or hopefully there's something in it that makes you go, oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. If this is interesting to you, if it's challenging for you, I really invite you to check out my book, The Foundational Series. This is in there. It's one of the many, many exercises in that book. And if you really want to go deeper than that, I have a new course called the DrumMantra3030, and this is just one of 125 exercises in that course. The DrumMantra3030 is 125 exercises broken into 30-minute long lessons. You get a lesson every single day that you practice along with. We're trying to develop the habit of practice. We're trying to develop the habit of learning discipline, and this particular exercise is about 1/3 of the way through the course. So we build up to it, and then we go way beyond it. So if this is something that interests you, I highly recommend checking the DrumMantra3030 out, or the Foundational Series book out. You can always write me at Rich Stitzel Music on Instagram, Rich Stitzel Music on Facebook. You can see my videos on DrumMantra on YouTube, and also YouTube Rich Stitzel. All right, good luck. Ask me any questions you'd like. I look forward to talking to you. Take care.